beginning of a new session is a challenging time for schools. This is the time when processes are defined and roles and responsibilities get assigned for the new academic year. This is also a time when schools generally look at their Schoolpad usage and plan to improve it in the new academic year. Most schools believe that training their staff members again will address this issue and ensure that their staff members use Schoolpad in a better, optimum way. But more often than not, the problem is not the training, but the clarity of the roles and responsibilities and processes that need to be implemented. Hi, I'm Abhiraj, one of the co-founders at Schoolpad. In the last decade, we've helped over 250 school owners and principals to manage their schools more efficiently by digitizing and automating their existing processes and creating an exceptional experience for parents, students, and teachers. To get optimal results from your school management software, you need to use it consistently. What hampers this consistency is the missing processes, lack of clarity on the roles, responsibilities, expected results and goals, and a proper monitoring or review mechanism. Without them, the staff does not intend to use the software regularly, which impacts the outcome. In our experience and based on our learnings on this topic from multiple schools, what is needed are clearly defined processes and clarity of the workflows or how to execute these processes along with the people responsible at each step. Let me simplify this with an example. Let's say we need to set up a workflow for collecting online admission inquiries. The documentation for this process must specify that front desk person A is basically the name that I'm giving for this person, has to collect all the online and walk-in inquiries from Schoolpad on a daily basis, consolidate them say by 4 p.m., take a printout, sign and submit it to the principal for consideration. Now another workflow in this online admission inquiry case could be the front desk person A will be responsible for ensuring that parents submit their forms within, let's say, 4 days. If they fail to do so, the front desk person A has to send reminders by calling parents and letting them know that the forms need to be submitted before the specified deadline, or otherwise their registrations will not be considered. Feedback on this call has to be added on Schoolpad under the notes section for each inquiry. Once the forms are submitted, the front desk person A can make a final list with the comments, sign it and punch it in the file. The front desk person will also submit all the collected registration fee to the accounts department person B, who will match the amount with the list, validate and sign and punch the document into the file. This file will then be sent to the principal for the decision and further action. Similarly, let's look at another example workflow of granting concessions to students. The parent will get the concession form from the person at the front desk called person A, fill it in and submit it back to person A. The front desk person A will then add this child to the concession module along with the scanned copy of the form on Schoolpad, which will then go for approval to B, C and D, who are part of the accounts department and are responsible for approving this concession based on the eligibility and the past records of the student. A list of all the approved concessions in a day has to be generated, signed and then submitted to the principal. The principal will then review and give the final approval, post which the child should be able to pay his or her fee on Schoolpad along with the applied concession. In both these example workflows, the instructions are clear with a well-defined order in which things must be done. Everyone has a definite scope of responsibility, followed by a clear review and validation mechanism. If the schools create a similar process document for every small and big workflow needed daily in the school, the margin of error will be drastically reduced. Once the staff members are clear on who is expected to do what, when and how, they will automatically start using the software more consistently for their work on a daily basis. It will become a part of their daily routine, and with consistency and proper usage, they will be able to deliver better outcomes. Being process driven is a hack that can give your school's growth story a boost beyond imagination. It may seem simple, but it profoundly impacts the kind of outcomes your school can deliver in the long run. As the new session begins, paying attention to the processes and clarity around them is essential. No amount of training by these schools or even by us can yield results unless backed by a proper, defined, documented, and well understood set of processes. I hope you found this video useful. See you in my next video.